Thank you, Jack, and thank all of you for coming out. I promise that is the only technical difficulty we'll have this evening. There will be no others. So welcome to what is, I think, really becoming my favorite evening of the year. And before I actually jump into the awards and introducing Nina, I just want to mention, standing here in front of this lovely poster, which hopefully you've seen around town or on the internet. The poster was designed by our previous winner of the Updike Prize, June Shin. Yay! Are you here, June? Do you mind raising your hand? And I am happy to announce as well, I think I'm allowed to say that she has won an award for this particular poster from Graphic Design USA. So a national award, it's just awards and awards. This is what happens when you win the Updike Prize. You immediately just become successful in everything you do. It's fantastic. So again, thank you, and as Jack said, thank you to friends at RISD. I was thinking recently about how fortunate I am. Jack mentioned all the great collections that we have at the library. And what it means is I actually get to work with people who are interested or connected to those collections. And so as Jack mentioned, we've got this great collection on the history of typography and the history of printing, which again, I encourage you to come in and use. And it means that I get to work with great people who are interested in printing and the history of typography, people like you. And I think it could be, much worse. There are many other subjects in which I wouldn't necessarily want to interact on a regular basis with people who are interested in those topics. So thank you to graphic designers for being really interesting people and lovely people to work with. And in particular, I do also want to thank, Jack mentioned RISD, so Susan Mazzuccio, Pam Kimmel, Andrew Grant, and Lucy Hitchcock, who helped us, hi Lucy, who helped us get this event set up here. And then also our judges, again, well represented by RISD folks, Diana Weissman, Richard Lipton, and John Caserta, who, in addition to being judges and actually looking at the submissions from students and, giving up their valuable time to offer an analysis of these entries, really have helped throughout from the founding of the prize and every year as we kind of go along. They're a great resource for, if we've got questions about how we should sort of promote or what great speakers we should bring in, our judges have always been a great help. And lastly, thank you to our excellent sponsors, Paperworks. I assume most of you have paper needs of some sort. So the next time you're buying paper, please do visit Paperworks. This is actually the first year in which we had such a close competition that our judges felt both of our finalists really deserved a prize. And so it was as easy as just contacting Paperworks and saying, you guys think we could add another cash prize? And they wonderfully did that for us. So thank you to them. So our plan for this evening, I'm going to get out of your way fairly soon. First, I want to introduce our finalists. And then our speaker, Nina Stössinger, she will offer what I am guaranteeing is going to be the best type lecture of the year that you'll hear. And then we'll announce our winner of the 2017 Updike Prize. And then she's graciously agreed to accept questions from you. So as you're listening to her lecture, keep questions in mind and hold those for the end when we'll get to those. So let me go ahead and introduce our two finalists alphabetically. Our first entry this year was the typeface Meadows by Joseph Allegro. And if you don't mind maybe waving, Joseph. Joseph's design, as I mentioned, is called Meadows. In his entry essay, he described it as a typeface. Oh, go back. Oh, thank you. I swore that there would be no other technical glitches. That doesn't really count, does it? He mentioned that it's inspired by the folktale The Three Billy Goats Gruff and the fact that it mixes the sinister and the playful. So initially his design was influenced by Garamond, but when he visited the Updike collection in an attempt to kind of learn about early Dutch typefaces, that played a role in his development of the typeface. And I do encourage you to seek out both of our finalists and ask them questions. They haven't told me that's okay, but I assume they're very nice people and would happily answer questions about those designs. Our second entry is Raleigh Condensed by Erica Karras. Erica encountered Morris Fuller Benton's Raleigh in one of the 1930s American type foundry specimens that we've got in our collection, the Updike collection. And her typeface uses that as its inspiration, but then takes the original design in some new directions, including developing a lowercase, which wasn't there in the original. And I should also mention, too, both examples from both entries are up at the exhibition space just outside Special Collections. So if you want to see these sort of blown up and in person, you can see both in more detail there, as well as an exhibition of recent typographical purchases that we've made. So you have to do it really quickly. I think tomorrow and possibly Wednesday, those will still be up and available. So those are our 2 entries. And as I mentioned, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'd say the best part of this whole process really is working with the students who are coming in to use the collection. And this year, as with all years past, it's been a constant pleasure. They've been diligent, doing really serious work with the collection, and always a pleasure when they came in to work with us. So actually, let's have another just round of applause for both of them, just for doing this. Because I think just being a finalist in the prize indicates you've done a lot of work. So we will announce the winner in just a few minutes after Nina's lecture. So let me go ahead and introduce Nina. When I was originally looking around for the next speaker, I mentioned how important our judges are. Contacting them, contacting other members of the RISD community, and one name that kept coming up was Nina. Nina's here visiting in Providence for the first time, coming in from ultimately Switzerland by way of New York, where she is the senior typeface designer at Frere Jones Type, and she's also a faculty member at the Yale School of Art. So Nina has, she's designed popular typefaces, she's won plenty of awards, her work has been shown in galleries across the world, and she's been involved with important organizations like the Type Directors Club and the Alphabets. But it did not take long after meeting Nina to realize why everyone had been recommending her. She's very clearly an intensely smart and deeply enthusiastic about type person. And it's just immediately apparent that she's got a lot of really great things to say about type design. She's also, as an aside, one of the best typographic voices on Twitter. So if you're on Twitter and you're not following Nina yet, it really is, that really is recommended. You can stop right now and go ahead and do that, and we'll wait. So all of that combined are why I think we're really lucky to have Nina here with us tonight. The subject of her talk is Looking, Making, Questioning, Approaches to Type Design. And I hope you'll join me in welcoming Nina to Providence.